Today is June 27th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on Claibs Online, brought to you by Royal Banks of Missouri and Munganass St. Louis Acura. I am Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. And Rammer, no show yesterday due to the Cardinals' crazy schedule of double headers due to rainouts and then postponed double headers and postponed start times due to more bad weather, but the game got played. Both games got played. The Cardinals split the doubleheader yesterday, which means they won the series against the Atlanta Braves, taking 2 of 3. And, a nice showing against the current wild card leader in the National League.
Yeah, and we've talked about it for a few days now. Young guys really picking up the slack and becoming centerpieces for this team. And a guy who's been up and down, so I don't want to be accused of recency bias, but Matthew Liberatore against a good team. There's no way to criticize his performance. Naysayers, and I frequently am one, I admit it up front. If he does it against the Athletics or, somebody like that, you go, oh, well, how will he do against, so the Braves are a terrific ball club.
Yeah.
And with what he did, I think it might change the look of the club when they're talking now about a 6-man rotation with that 6th start being a bullpen game. I think that might be Liberatore's to lose now.
You can make argument right now, and we have talked a lot over the last week or two about the need for another starter, about the need to go out and get a guy to fill in that number 2, that number 3 role at the trade deadline and help bolster the starting rotation.
Mm-hmm.
But until that happens, you still have a hole in that 5th spot in the rotation that after Liberatore yesterday and after a couple of the Andre Palante starts, both have made arguments to get more shots at that 5th spot, at that 5th start. And we saw Kyle Gibson have to miss a start last week. Yesterday was the first time he pitched in 8 days. So you saw Kyle Gibson has gotten hurt, had to leave a game because of injury or miss a start because of injury. You saw Sonny Gray, he missed the start of the season, has had a little bit of hiccups here and there as far as health goes. And veterans like Miles Michaelis and Lance Lynn, a 6-man rotation might not be the worst thing.
Yeah, and I've never been a fan of bullpen games. You understand that sometimes it's a necessity, just the way it goes in a 162-game season.
Yeah.
But as a plan, I don't really like it. As a philosophy, I don't like it. And when you can find somebody to step up, so it's Liberatore and Palante, and, they both had horrific starts, but they both had really good starts too. So I'm going to try and be Johnny Sunshine today and say, here's our guys for now. Not only have a couple of clouds that blow over and cover up the sun for a moment and say, who's now the long man? If Liberatore becomes your 6th starter, who's the long man when somebody blows a tire in the 4th? I don't know the answer, but that's easier to find than a starter.
It is. Yeah. And it's also easier to just go with a guy for one day and unfortunately just tell him, hey, you're going to eat this, and then you're going to be in a car back to Memphis tomorrow.
That's right.
It's a lot easier to do that. And sucks for the guy.
And where could he rent that car, Joe?
He could get a Toyota from Munganass Burkhardt Alton Toyota. I got a nice Highlander in my driveway right now, Rammer. I'm heading to Ballparks National tomorrow in it. And I rented that from them yesterday. Look how many different sponsors we can hit and how many different plugs we can get. And
hey, we're pros. We're professional.
Hey, Rammer, one thing we didn't talk about in our very long pre-show meeting that we do before each and every one of these shows that I wanted to bring up to you. Mason Wynn yesterday had a nice series again and picked up, over the last 5 games right now, has 6 hits in those last 5 games. Right now, you have this 22-year-old stud shortstop who is your leadoff hitter and has been consistent, your most consistent hitter the entire season in his first full year at the major league level.
Yeah.
Rammer, we've seen teams do this before. We've seen the Cardinals do this before. Do you think that a contract extension is in the near future for a guy like Mason Wynn?
I think maybe in the future, but not the near future, meaning the end of the season. I think maybe after his second full year, if he continues to perform this way, or hopefully even better, I don't think the sky's the limit for what this kid can do.
Do you think that wait that takes? I mean, I feel like that's too long to wait. Almost, I feel like if you're going to do something, if you see the potential in him, and you have you have guys within the organization, former players and front office people within the organization, looking at Mason Wynn as the future face of this team. I think signing him right now to a 7-8 year deal and giving him one of those Ronald Acuna type deals right now I think is very much in play.
So your fear is that if you wait even another year and a half, that he'll decline it, play out his arbitration years, and then after 6 years, he go to free agency.
Not even that. I just think you lock him in at a good rate, I guess is what I'm at, a Cardinal friendly rate, I guess is what I'm saying with that, outside of waiting to see how ridiculous these contracts get in the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a great businessman, and I don't know their model. I think I'd probably play it out a little while longer to see, because you'd hate to lock up a guy, and then what if he becomes a very nice 240 hitter?
Right.
I don't know what the future. Nobody does, and so that's what you're gambling on. What do your analytics say? What do your self-scouting people say? Yeah, I don't know. So if you sign him up for 7 or 8 years instead of keeping him for 6, and he becomes a free agent 2 years, yeah, I don't know. It's not my money. It's okay to go ahead and gamble if you want. I'm trying to be objective. I think they wait a little while, but if they want to sign him in October to 10 years, I'm okay with that because I love the kid.
Cardinals start a 4-game series against the Reds. Right now, Cardinals are 3 games over 500 in the National League. That is good for second right now in the wild card race. I'm sorry, tied for second right now. Them and the Padres are tied for that those last wild card positions. Both of those teams a game and a half ahead of the red hot Mets, who are now back to 500, all thanks to Grimace throwing out the first pitch several weeks ago. The Cardinals will send Miles Mikolas to the mound tonight, facing lefty Andrew Abbott. No show tomorrow, Rammer. The Cardinals will have Andre Pallante. We talked about him a lot at the beginning of the show. Andre Pallante starting for the Cardinals tomorrow night against Frankie Montas. That's your look at the next 2 days in the first 2 games of the Cardinals and Reds at Busch Stadium. A chance to kind of distance themselves from the Reds, a team that a team that we were kind of talking about maybe being a playoff team about a month or 2 ago.
Well, yeah, I hadn't bought into them. I didn't think they were a playoff team. I still don't, but they do have some talent. And I think that in a series like this, can you split? Could you take 3 of 4? Boy, if you could take 3 of 4 and put the cushion there, as you said, Joe. But moreover, it's just as important, I think more important, to kind of focus on winning games for yourself, to keep climbing. Just focus on winning today's game, and the rest of the stuff will take care of itself.
Absolutely. Yeah. You go out there and you keep just you go 1 game at a time, see how far over 500 you can get, and just keep reaching those milestones with that. Next goal is 5 games over 500, then shoot for 10 games over 500 and put yourself in a position to where you're not sitting there in September. Every game is must win.
Now, so I'm going to turn that around on you, Skipper. Can you do that in a big tournament like you're going to be playing in this weekend?
We're gonna see what happens after game 1, and then we're gonna assess the brackets after that and see where we'll fall for Sunday.
So are you and I've gone both ways, and I coached 2 different boys all the way through. Do you go with your number 1 guy in your first pool game to try and at least get a win? Even if you can get a lead, then take him out and save him for Sunday? How do you look at it?
I believe, as we're talking, I'm just giving away strategy, Rammer, and one of the guys that we're facing on Saturday is a friend of mine who very well could be watching this live right now. I think we're going to go with our number 2 in the first game, and then go from there and kind of assess what the rest of the day looks like on Saturday. We also have the benefit too. I believe we play the very last pool games of the day on Saturday, so we can see everything that's in front of us in the standings too.
And you know how much you have to gamble in a game to get a win.
Yes,
that sort of thing. The other thing is when you go with your ace on your first game, that's a better strategy if you play your first pool game on Friday.
Yes.
Then you can grind him and then save him for Sunday bracket play.
That's what we did in our tournament last weekend. We had a game Friday, and then so we were able to do that Friday. Having the 2 late games on Saturday makes it a little harder to do that. But hey, I know we're rain in the forecast on Saturday, but that shouldn't be a problem. All the years that Ballparks National has been open, I saw on your website 10 games been rained out.
No, nobody's been rained out. We had one day, a whole day washed out. I shouldn't say washed out. Lost, but it was due to lightning. It was thunderstorms all day. We paused and canceled for lightning. We lost one day to snow, but never for rain.
Okay. Well, hopefully that stays the same this weekend out at Ballparks National.
Make sure your kids have turf shoes are great when it's dry, molded plastic cleats when it's wet.
Yeah. With having that facility out there, Rammer, and all of the years that you also coached and helped with your boys in baseball growing up over the years, I don't see the benefit of metal spikes anymore.
Yeah, well, first of all, we don't allow them.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. Just going out and buying them for your child these days. In the case that they might play on dirt in a game, I don't see the benefit in having metal spikes anymore.
The molded spikes will do just about as well on dirt.
Exactly.
And they're what you need on turf. But do you remember, though, when you were a kid, the first time you were old enough and you got the metal cleats? Wasn't that an awesome day?
I believe I could tell you they were black high top Pony brand metal spikes were the first ones that I got. Yeah.
We didn't have those when I was a kid. They were black Rawlings, leather black Rawlings. But then when I got to college, it was sweet. Black Adidas. Oh, man, they were awesome.
I went white. Once I got to high school, I went with the white shoes for that. Yeah, it didn't look back afterwards. So I have with turf this weekend, I have my coaching shoes, my special turf coaching shoes ready to go for the games this weekend out there on the turf.
I can't wait to see your kids play. It'll be fun.
I'm looking. Hopefully, they put on a good show for you guys out there at Ballparks National. Hey, that's going to do it for our show today. No show tomorrow. Rammer and I will be together doing a show live from Ballparks National on Saturday before Cardinals and Reds Saturday afternoon. And just like today, that show will be brought to you by Munganess St. Louis Acura and also Rammer Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri. What a great day I had today, Joe. And that is, I refied my mortgage and got a great rate from my friends at Royal Banks. They made it quick. They made it easy. They made it efficient. And I am delighted. I'll be saving about $500 a month on my monthly mortgage payment. Talk to the folks at Royal Banks of Missouri. New mortgage, refi, home equity credit line, agricultural loan, 314-212-1500, Royal Banks of Missouri.
Concession popsicle stands on Rammer this weekend, saving $500 a month.
Well, hey, let me tell you something. We got a great snow cone stand.
Okay.
It's the best I've ever seen.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
That sounds good to me. Hey, he is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you on Saturday right here on Daily Cards Live, only on Claibs Online.
Great swing here. Line drive. That ball is going to get out in a hurry.
Saturday, June 29th, the Cardinals host the Reds. Don't miss the mystery-sized Cardinal jersey presented by Stiefel. 25,000 fans ages 16 and older receive a mystery Cardinals jersey in a variety of different adult sizes. You won't know which you'll receive until you walk through the gates of Busch Stadium. For tickets and details, visit cardinals.com/promotions.